Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you so much for stopping by. Now today I have a special treat. The wonderful people over at Spellbinders contacted me asking me if I would like to try out their May card kit of the month, and I said absolutely. I love card kits, and so today I'm going to do an unboxing, plus I'm going to make 3 projects using this lovely kit. So this is how your kit will arrive, in this lovely little box, and it's actually nice for storage too because it's on the thinner side. But let's take a look at what comes inside this lovely kit. Spellbinders kits have offer a subscription, and so I'll leave links below in the description area in case you're interested. But in the kits you get 10 envelopes, and they're A2 size envelopes, and then you also get your 10 card bases. They're already scored and pre-folded for you. They're side folding, and these have a little bit of texture to them, but they're 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches, and you get 10 of those. Now along with that you get some real pretty ribbons. You get actually 5 different types. This is a real pretty green sheer ribbon, and then you get a thinner cream colored ribbon. Real pretty, and I measured them, and you get about 6 feet of each one, so tons of ribbon. This here's a real pretty satin white ribbon. It's about a 1/2 inch thick. And then this one I believe is seam binding, so I love seam binding ribbon, so this is lovely. And then you get a real pretty sheer coral colored ribbon. So you get 5 different kinds here. Now next you get 2 little wooden sentiment veneers. One says happy and one says love. They're perfect size for your card bases. So you get 2 of those. And then you get this real pretty doily. I'm looking forward to using this today. This one is really detailed, but it's made from felt, which is so nice, and it's like the perfect size. So you get that, and then in this little goodie bag you get 3 paper flowers. This one's a larger white one, and then it has the little stamens on the inside that are just detailed and beautiful. These ones have little pearls, but you get 2 of the little ones and 1 white one. And then you also get a few gold sequins, and I think it's just the right amount for accenting and embellishing your cards. So you get that, and then you also get this 3D sticker. It has little blue flowers on it, and they're layered together with a little foam piece on the back. And then you get some ephemera. The ephemera coordinates beautifully with the pattern paper that comes in this kit. You get 3 larger panels that fit your card bases perfectly, and then you get a few pieces of ephemera. You get quite a few larger tickets with sentiments on it, and then some butterflies and flowers and sentiment pieces. Very pretty. A few smaller ones here. You get a little flower with a sentiment on there, and then you get this real pretty embellishment, some smaller tickets, and then a few more smaller sentiments. And then you also get 3 little tags, so lots of goodies. Also in this kit come some little blue shiny, super shiny gems, and then you get this sticker sheet here. This sticker sheet is actually backed on like a wood grain textured pattern, and then the letters on it are gold embossed, so that's going to go beautifully with the cards. And then also you get the nice thing about the Spellbinders kits. Now I've been a subscriber before to Spellbinders, and I really like their kits, but you get your foam squares, and then you also get some foam tape. So basically everything you need is included in the kit. I think, well, you'll need your scissors and maybe a little bit of glue, but everything's there for you, which is fantastic. So those are your little adhesives. And then you also get your dies. Now I'm going to actually cut out some paper, and I wanted to show you what these dies look like. So you get your embroidery hoop, which is Lovely. And then you get your little birdie die, some little leaves with one little flower on there. And then you also get the center of your embroidery hoop, which means you can cut out a frame with it or cut out the circle to layer on top along with a small flower. And then you also get this real pretty, perfect sized butterfly there. So those are your dies, and like I said, I cut them out for you just to show you what they look like. But there's your embroidery hoop. Now again, that circle you could add to your embroidery hoop to create like a little frame, or you could layer it on top. So that's the nice thing about that. And then you get your butterfly. And the nice thing about Spellbinders dies too is there's etching on them. Like on the birdies here, you can see their wings have detail on them, along with the center of the flowers, which is lovely. And even these itty bitty leaves here, they also have a lot of detail. So I don't know if you could tell or not, but there are a lot of detail in those little leaves. Okay, now let's take a look at the pattern paper. These pattern papers are 8.5 by 11. So they're full sheets. You get a large floral pattern and then this real dainty small floral pattern. And then you also get this real pretty wood grain pattern paper with some gold accents to it. And you get this full page of embroidery hoops that have lots of shiny gold accents. Really pretty. And then you get this two-tone green pattern paper. Has little floral images on there. And then you get a full sheet of gold foil cardstock. It's front and back, which is really nice. And then we're going to take a look at our cardstock. This is a real pretty dark blue. And this all the cardstocks that I'm showing right now have texture to them. So that's my favorite. I really love coral, so that's going to be real pretty to play with. But you have a real pretty green and ivory, and then you also get a white cardstock. Now this one is actually the same texture as your card bases, so that's great for me because I like to layer. So this is everything that comes in the May 2018 Spellbinders card kit of the month. And again, links will be below in the description area in case you guys are interested and want to check it out. But we're going to make some cards today. I'm going to actually make 3 projects using this lovely kit. And so we're going to just jump in and get started. Okay, I'm going to take a piece of the gold cardstock that came with the kit, and I'm going to trim it down just so it fits through my die cut machine. And then I know I wanted to create a gold embroidery hoop, so I'm going to take the embroidery die, but I'm going to cut out a frame in it. So I'm going to layer both of those together, and then I'm also going to cut out this real pretty butterfly. I'd like to have a gold butterfly for this card. So once that's done, we're going to cut out 2 pieces of the cardstock. I have the white and then the dark blue. And these dies here are also from Spellbinders. They are the label dies. And I'll leave links below again if you're interested in the description area. But I just cut those out, and what I'm going to do now is layer them together. I'm actually going to matte the white onto the blue, and I think it creates a real nice background. Lovely. Okay, now I know I wanted to use those beautiful flowers, and I wanted to use all 3 of them, and this little sentiment says happy day. It's nice because the ephemera has gold accents on that as well. But I'm just kind of going to fluff up my little flowers and then kind of do a little bit of arranging. I used the foam tape that came, or the foam adhesive that came in the kit, and I popped up my embroidery hoop to give my panel a little bit of dimension, and I also used it behind my ticket there too. But to glue down my little flowers, I just used my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, and I think that looks fantastic. So I just stuck everything down, and then I just added my little butterfly to the side there. I'm still fluffing everything up. I don't know why I fluff it up. I fluff it up, and then you put it in an envelope, it's going to flatten. But that's okay. I still think it looks pretty on the outside of the envelope first. Now, I'm going to just since my panel was has a lot of dimension, I'm going to use the tape and add it directly to the card base, and then I'll just stick my panel right on top, right in the center. And I think that looks so pretty. For a few bells and whistles, I'm going to take just a few of the gold sequins, and I'm going to glue them down to my card base just using my glue. Just a couple of them. The nice thing about the Spellbinders kits too is I call these type of cards collage cards, because you can create a scene with them, and there's a lot of dimension. So there's my first collage card. Here's a close-up. Okay, now we're going to move along to my second project. I trimmed down a piece of the embroidery hooped pattern paper, and the camera's not picking it up, but it has real beautiful gold accent on this paper. But I trimmed it down, and I'm going to grab my card base and kind of use that as a guide where to stick my blue panel, and I'll just glue them together. I wanted a little bit of the white card base to show there. And then I'm just going to take my paper trimmer and trim off the top portion and the bottom that's overhanging. You could use your scissors, but when I do use my scissors, I always get it crooked. So this helps me out. Okay, now I decided to add a little bit of a little bit of ribbon around my seam. So I'm using the thinner cream colored ribbon, and I'm going to wrap it and just tie a bow towards the bottom of my panel there. Okay, now I'm going to take a piece of the gold cardstock. I trimmed it down, and a piece of the white cardstock, and then I have a blue and then another piece of gold. So I'm actually going to use the white here and the gold as my panel, so I'm going to use the tape and adhere them both together. I'm going to attempt to get it straight, but actually I got it crooked, so I ended up lifting up my cardstock and then repositioning it to get it straight. But once that's straight, I am going to take the butterfly die and cut out a gold butterfly and then a navy blue butterfly. Just going to run those through. Okay, they're done. Now I'm going to use some glue and layer them both together, but I'm going to actually shift my top butterfly just a little bit. I really wanted the gold butterfly to show through. So I'm just going to use a little bit of glue right in the center. That way I can fluff up my wings and glue them down together. And then we'll do so pretty, and we'll do a little bit of fluffing. Okay, now I want to use the circle die here, and then I want to cut out a circle pattern using one of the embroidery hoops on the rest of the pattern paper, and it actually fit one of the hoops perfectly. So I just cut out a circle, and I thought that would be a really pretty background for my butterfly. And I don't know if you can tell, but there's gold around it. That die just fit it perfectly. So I'm just going to tape down my little circle. Place that to the left here. Now for my sentiment for this card, I decided to use the wood veneer that says love. It was just the perfect size, and I think that's going to look fantastic there. So I'm just going to use my glue and then add my love sentiment to my panel. A little bit towards the top because I wanted a little bit of room to add the rest of my sentiment. I'm just going to use a little piece of tape to adhere my butterfly. This tape actually reminds me of score tape. It's super strong, which is fantastic. I'm going to do a little fluffing, and then we're just going to press it down there. So pretty. Okay, I'm going to grab the sticker sheet here with the sentiments, and I chose the sentiment that says love to see you smile. But since we already have the love, I'm just going to take my scissors and trim off the love. So it'll say to see you smile, but it'll still be a complete sentiment. Now I wanted to add a little bit of dimension, so I'm going to use some of the foam squares. I'm just going to cut out a strip and just place that behind my sticker there. And then we're going to place that underneath our little butterfly there. Okay, now I am going to adhere my panel to my card base just using my tape runner, or I didn't use my tape runner, I used the tape. I'm going to place that on there all the way to the right, so I have a little bit of white peeking out. And then I'm going to flip this over, and then I'm going to use some more of those foam squares behind here and pop that up. And that's going to go towards the top portion of my card. Now for a little bit of shimmer, I decided to use some of these blue gems. And they are super sparkly. I love them. I used one large one and then two small ones right in the center of my butterfly. So the gems will be my butterfly's body. And I think that gives the perfect amount of shine. And that completes card number 2. Now for my final card today, I trimmed down a panel with the white cardstock that came with the kit. And now I'm trimming down a piece of the wood grain pattern paper. I'm going to fishtail the bottom portion of it. And that's going to go on my panel to the left here. I'm just going to secure it with some of the tape. The nice thing about this tape too is it tears. I love tape that tears. We'll remove the backing and place that to the left. And then I'll just go ahead and trim off the excess that's overhanging. Okay, now I'm going to grab that beautiful felt doily. I really wanted to use that today. So I'm going to just adhere it there using, again, some more of the tape. I used quite a bit. I wanted to make sure that it stuck down really well. And I'm just using my craft pick to remove the backing off of it. And then I'll place that on my panel. Lovely. Now, for my first card from the embroidery hoop, this was the circle that was the cutout part. And I thought, well, I'll put that to good use. And the nice thing, you can see the etching. It has a little bit of etching around it, so there's detail on that gold foiling, and I really like that. But I placed it in the center of my felt doily, and then I wanted to use the 3D sticker here. So I'm going to place that towards the top. And then for this sentiment, I chose the larger green ticket that says awesome. And then I want to use another one of those stickers here. I'm just going to pop this up with some foam squares. This sticker says you're amazing. I'm going to place that on my card panel. Now I want to add just a little bit more, so I'm taking the little leaf die and taking some more of that gold foil, and I cut out a few leaves. I'm going to place them around my panel. Just 3 on the top and then 3 on the bottom. And I just used my glue for these. These are kind of small. Okay, once we have that done, I think that looks wonderful. I'm just going to add this panel to my white card base. And again, I'm just going to add some tape to my card base, and then I'll place my panel right on top, right in the center. And that finishes off that card. Okay, now I didn't use too much of the pattern paper, but it was so pretty and it coordinated so well. So I'm just going to create some small squares that are the same size, well, a little bit smaller than the inside flap of my envelope. I'm just using my paper trimmer to trim them down, but I'm going to trim 3 squares. I wanted to use this large floral pattern, the small floral pattern, and also the embroidery hoop pattern. And then I'm going to add a little bit of tape. Let's trim this one down first. But adding detail to your envelopes is so easy. You just create a square, add a little bit of tape. I like to do just one corner, and then I'll take another little piece and put it down the center. And then the taped corner will go on the envelope flap. This is so easy to do, but the tricky part is getting it straight on the inside of the envelope, because there is adhesive on the back is a little bit tricky. But once you get the hang of it, it's so easy. But you just place that on the inside of your envelope, just below the gummy part of the envelope closure, and it creates a beautiful envelope. Once I have all three done, I just place the envelope on my scoreboard and then add a score line over that pattern paper, just so it closes nice and easy. So decorating your envelopes are so easy. So I made 3 of them that coordinated with my cards today. Here's a look at all 3 cards I made with the Spellbinders card of the month. And again, links will be below, as always, in the description area. I think Spellbinders, if you get a subscription, the value that you get is fantastic. You can purchase the kits individually, but it's a little bit more pricey. But I think you get a lot in this kit. And I encourage you to check it out. Thanks so much for stopping by. I'd love to hear your comments. Let me know what you think. I wish you a fantastic day, and we will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.